Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Upper Tier Podcast, the football podcast that's brought to you on YouTube each and every week by myself, Niall, Darren, and the rest of the team. I'm looking after the fantasy football side of things for this year. This is the Fantasy Chancer Football Show. So, what we're going to do now is look back at game week 5 for myself. And we're going to look ahead to game week 6. Now, this is a very late video for me, so some of the league tables may not be updated because I'm flying to Amsterdam in a couple of hours. Manchester United just played Leicester, so there may be an odd few differences between the tables, but more or less they're going to be the same at this early stage. Okay, so for myself then, I got rid of Gavin Bazunu, obviously, and I put in Sanchez this week. Now, didn't pay dividends. It's very hard in this league unless you're paying a lot of money, and then you're not even guaranteed that your keepers are going to be keeping clean sheets. So I've went for 2 cheap goalkeepers. I'm going to keep going down that route because like a lot of games you're having now both teams scoring, and Brighton are good defensively. They haven't let in a lot of goals, so I think I'll stick with Sanchez anyway for now. I know I said that about Bazunu at the start, but I think Southampton are leaking far too many goals for me to put full trust in Gavin Bazunu. Even though he's a fantastic keeper, he will make saves. It doesn't seem like Southampton are going to keep a lot of clean sheets. In fact, they've kept none so far this season, so that's kind of ominous, really. Now, in the back, I went for the Arsenal double again. Now, obviously, Arsenal didn't keep a clean sheet, but Ben White accumulated 2 bonus points as well as a clean sheet before he came off, which what we think is an injury, which may change my plans going into next week. So Ben White with 8 points there was a very decent return. Obviously, Saliba then was on the pitch when Aston Villa scored that Douglas Luiz goal from the corner, so he only got 1 point. Beside him then, that man Nathan Collins at the 4.5 again, obviously wearing my Irish hat here, and Nathan Collins coming up with a bonus point for his efforts there the other day. So, you know, he's proved to be a solid replacement, I guess, for Connor Cody there. Into the midfield, flattering to deceive again in the middle of the park is Heung-min Son. Still hasn't scored a goal. I think he's only cropped up with maybe 1 assist. So I've changed up my team this week. I've actually played my wild card, which I'll get into. Now, I haven't made a ton of changes. I wanted to make some significant changes because obviously with the transfer window closing, I may still make changes before this weekend's game. So we're going to have to wait and see. Now, Mo Salah obviously picking up points again. 10 points for me. I brought in De Silva for Declan Rice, and unfortunately he did not start for Brentford. So that looks like something that I will have to look at as well, because I thought he was going to be starting for Brentford, but manager Thomas Frank had other plans. So that didn't work out. Andres Pereira came up with an assist. Now, he's one that I said at the start of the year that I was going to stick with, you know, at his valuation of 4.5, and now we're starting to get glimpses of what he can bring to the table. So I'm very happy to have him in there as a cheap option in the midfield. So if we go ahead then and we look at the front line, I went with Jesus captain. I thought Man City were going to rest Haaland this week, and it turned out that they rested Kevin De Bruyne instead. So anyone that had De Bruyne in kind of suffered, but Haaland coming up with another hat-trick, absolutely ridiculous player. So that's why I went with Jesus as captain. Jesus did get off the mark again, as did Harry Kane. So that front three, they all scored this week. So that really worked out well for me. And then if you look at the bench, Lavia, he got a goal, and that was his first goal. I took him out of the team, didn't work out. So if we look at he's only got a 25% chance of playing in this week's game round. So that's something to kind of bear in mind as well. So if we look quickly at the league tables, the upper tier. Now, Kevin Mullally back up with an impressive 84 points this week. That's a colossal number there from Kevin. So, you know, fair play to him. We've got Sam there coming up behind them with 350. Like, it's a very high scoring league. It's very high scoring fantasy football this year, with the likes of Jesus and Haaland available to nearly everyone, really. I'm in a 21 here, so I'm kind of halfway between the pack. pack of 42, and I'm exactly halfway there. It's where I'd expect to be. So I'm pretty happy with where I am in the league. So we're just going to go into what I've done for next week. So game week 6, I've went with Dean Henderson, who I got in. He's picking up a good few points from penalty saves and things like that. So I said, give him a chance. Nico Williams, if Forest are ever going to keep a clean sheet, I know they lost 6-0 the other night, but this is it. At home to Bournemouth, you would absolutely expect him to keep a clean sheet there. William Saliba, I've left in. I'm not confident in Arsenal keeping a clean sheet, but Saliba has proved that he is dangerous in the air and capable of hitting a strike as well. So going to leave him in there. Nathan Collins, Southampton. I expect Wolves to beat Southampton, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was another clean sheet there. So I've put Raheem Sterling actually in for Son. I've changed up the midfield. So Son hasn't been delivering. I think Sterling is going to be like a key player for Chelsea this year, and I think he's going to pop up with a lot of goals and assists. And with Aubameyang coming into the side as well, I'd expect Sterling to be putting a lot of things on a plate for him. So Sterling, one I'm going to keep in. Mo Salah, obviously Everton away. Everton are playing piss poor at the moment, so I can't see anything there but a Liverpool win. Liverpool kind of stumbled to victory the other night against Newcastle, but still got the job done, getting points on the board. That's what it's all about this time of year, especially with Man City kind of veering away from the pack. I know Arsenal are top of the league, but we don't expect it to stay like that. But I just see the amount of points the City are accumulating, and they're not going to lose a lot of points this season, you would imagine. Pascal Gross I put in. Brighton are playing Leicester. It's another game that I would expect Brighton to win. And then Pereira I have in against Tottenham. That's going to be a very interesting and physical London derby this week with Tottenham and Fulham. I think it's going to be similar to the game the other night with West Ham and Tottenham. A lot of tough tackles, a lot of controversy, a lot of face-to-face challenges. Typical London derby, I think. So really looking forward to that game. I've went with Kane as my captain in this game. Started off the season very well, and I think that Tottenham will have too much for Fulham at home, but I think it's going to be pretty tight as well. Jesus, had to leave him in the team. If anyone's going to score for Arsenal at Old Trafford, it'll probably be the ex-Man City man. He'll be really pumped up for the occasion, and you can just see the passion that he has brought to the Arsenal side has been immense. I don't expect Arsenal to win this weekend, but I expect if they do score that this man is going to be involved somehow in the goals. Erling Haaland, here we go again. Aston Villa away. Villa in absolutely terrible form. But will Haaland play? The Champions League is coming up. These are the questions that you have to ask yourself when you put in these Man City players, because the only Man City player that you could look at maybe to start every single game is Ederson. And then after that, you really can't bank on anyone. Like Pep likes to really shake things up sometimes. So I'm hoping Haaland is playing. I'm guessing a lot of people are hoping Haaland is playing, but no guarantees at the moment anyway. So if we look at the subs bench then, we have Sanchez, who I've kept in as well. Just going to put him on the bench this week. I know it's a kind of a toss-up because Leicester at home, you'd expect Brighton to win that as well. And Leicester were poor as well against Manchester United tonight. So very tough for Brendan Rodgers. Very hard to know where the next victory is going to come from. And then Lavia, obviously injury concern, have him on the bench, as well as Ben Wright and as well as Malaysia as well for Manchester United, because I expect both teams to score when Arsenal play Manchester United. So there's no point in putting too many defenders from those sides in the team. So that's basically it, guys. Had to do a late video. I'm away for the weekend. Just want to give a shout out to Niall and Darren. They're in Cardiff at the Wrestling Clash of the Castle this weekend. So big ups to the boys. Enjoy yourselves. I'm off to Amsterdam to have a look at some museums. So we'll catch you next week. Thank you very much.